Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey guys, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
So good to see you guys. We've got so much great stuff coming up on today's show, including some life advice from a centenarian. What do you guys have for advice?
How many years is that, Cheryl?
100. So we're talking to a man who's 104.
Yeah. My advice is just to smile every day and think about the positive. That's all I got.
My advice is to watch this show because it's a good one.
My advice is to treat everybody with kindness and compassion. So we're going to talk with him coming up. And also we're going to let you know where you should plan your next fun getaway.
And we got a museum unlike any other that'll leave you in stitches.
And we'll talk to a celebrity publicist about what in the world is going on with Britney Spears. But first, we'll go to your daily Olympic update from Tokyo. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock for the past few months, then you've probably been hearing a lot about Britney Spears.
Oh, yes. The Free Britney movement is all over celebrity news, mainstream news, and now even in congressional news. Celebrity publicist Domenick Nati is here to help us understand what is going on. Welcome to Main Street Living. We're so glad you're here to break this all down for us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. This will be fun.
Yes, it will. And you work with a lot of celebrities. So how would you describe your day job? It's got to be pretty interesting.
Well, yeah, I'm a publicist for 15 years. So basically, if you are a celebrity or if you are wanting to be a celebrity or really just have anything that you want promoted, people come to me. I prepare a game plan of how to get further exposure in the press and roll that out to the media. And I've also done a lot of crisis PR where I represent people or celebrities that have gotten into trouble. And I try my best to spin that and create a new public image for them. And I also have a show that I host where I interview celebrities. So it's fun. Yeah.
Wow. And we get a chance to interview you. Now, you were talking about celebrities in trouble. Huh?
Yeah. Turn the tables.
Right. Now, Domenick, you were talking about celebrities in trouble. So practically the whole world is talking about Britney Spears and the situation with her conservatorship. Can you break this down in simple terms? Because I have no idea what this means.
Yeah, it's a word that a lot of people are not. Conservatorship is a word that we're not used to hearing. But basically, the easiest way to say it is that Britney and people that are under a conservatorship, it's almost like if you're an adult child and you're putting a legal guardian over your entire life. So, I mean, Britney's conservatorship covers her finances, her meals, her transportation. I mean, I'm serious. Yeah, it's who she's around. I mean, it's literally as if you are a teenager. I have a 14-year-old child, and it's the same idea as that. That the father is in charge of all of her decisions. And that's, yeah.
Did she have to agree to this? Because you would think at 18 years old, you're an adult, you have your own free will. So did she agree to this? And how is it still even possibly going on?
Yeah, I mean, this was started in 2013. And in that time, she was in and out of some mental institutions. And she shaved her head. She had erratic behavior, and I think that she was aware that she was having erratic behavior and she was out of control. So yes, she did sign a conservatorship, and she did consent to this. And that's the issue, is that this is supposed to have been expired by now. So every time that it tries to get overturned and to be released, it keeps getting dragged out. It keeps getting, going further along. And there's no reason. She did have some behavior that put her in mental institutions that was erratic in that time, but it has been 8 years, and she has proven herself that she can handle her. Yeah.
Wow. And this definitely comes at a time when there's a movement to destigmatize mental health issues just in general. But do you think that that's why this has become such a hot topic?
I really don't. I don't think this has a lot to do with a mental health movement, to be honest. I think that this has to do with fame, so it's not so much what it is that like what she's doing. I mean, I think a lot of this, I would say another thing that people don't understand is that Amanda Bynes, famous actress, in 2014, she became under a conservatorship, and she is still under that conservatorship. A lot of people are not talking about this. Britney's not the only celebrity that is under this sort of agreement. But what I think that is different, what I think that the differential is that Amanda Bynes, her conservator is her mother. And Britney's conservator is her father. And I feel, in my opinion, that a lot of this has to do with, I think it might have to do with the fact that there is a man over this successful woman, and he is controlling her. It's a possibility. I think that's what's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be that, or just the fact that it's anybody who still has this much control over somebody. I mean, I heard too that they have control over the IUD that's in her body, which is just crazy to me. And so I know this seemed to start out as a protest by devout Britney fans, but now it's grown to a bill that has been introduced to Congress to deal with it. What's happening in Congress, and why do you feel like this is still attracting so much attention?
I think that it's attracting so much attention because of her fan base. You know what I mean? So you talk about if it was Beyonce, Justin Bieber, people like this that are these mega stars that have a fan base of predominantly young people and predominantly women. I think that is, and I'm not saying that in a mean, sexist way. I'm saying that they're a lot more vocal. I mean, if this was like an NFL player, NBA player, like honestly, it doesn't get a reaction when your fan base is a bunch of guys. You just are like, oh well, maybe that guy did do that, or maybe he should go to jail. You don't get behind him that much. I mean, you're talking about Britney Spears, talking about a huge pop star, and people love her and support her. I mean, it's similar to the Beehive. If this was Beyonce, I think it would be the same way. So I think that it has more to do with the fact that it's her fan base and they're very vocal and they're right. But also Britney's dad is also legally right. He's not doing anything wrong.
I mean, it's clearly a family issue that we have really nothing to do with. And I know celebrities will attract us. Wish we could talk with you more to get the scoop, but how can viewers keep up with you?
Okay. Dom Nati Show interviews celebrities. I interviewed over 300 celebrities, and Bill Cosby, Gene Simmons, Goldberg. Check it out. Dom Nati Show on Instagram, YouTube. I think you guys will like it.
Absolutely. Dom, you are the best. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us the scoop.
I enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
No problem. Well, Cheryl, while celebrities like Britney end up in places like wax museums, up next, we got a different kind of museum that you probably never knew existed. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, summertime is the prime time for road trips. And one of the best parts of a road trip are those little surprises that you find along the way. Those quirky places that just have to be explored, right?
Yes. Quincy, whenever Cheryl talks about a road trip, I worry. I fear for her car.
Well, come on.
if you are hoping for something a little more interesting and whimsical than the world's biggest ball of string, not that there's anything wrong with that, we do have just the spot for you. Please welcome the creators of the Wacky Taxidermy and Miniatures Museum in Mackinaw City, Michigan, Julie and Brandon Howey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, thank you.
So tell us, for those of us who haven't been yet, what can we find at your museum?
You can find lots of over 62 different diorama scenes of a miniature castle. We have a city street that's modeled after like a downtown Mackinaw area. Circus performing squirrels and mice and swamp buggers, a half bear, half deer, a little bit of everything.
Some cryptids like the Fiji mermaid and the Jenny Javier. So we try to put like a little bit of everything that just deals with, wild taxidermy.
Yeah, some taxidermy as well. So there's something to learn, lots of fun things to look at.
Yeah, and it, like something like that, I'm sure is cool to the eye that's seeing this stuff for the first time. So Julie, can you tell us how you came up with the idea for this museum?
Well, we started collecting taxidermy about 10 years ago, and we just fell in love with finding these weird mounts that nobody wanted. And after so long, we just didn't really find anything very interesting. So we taught ourselves how to do taxidermy, and we picked up roadkill and practiced on them, and we were able to make more creative pieces. And we just started making them, and after a while it was like we should probably just put these on display somewhere so everyone can enjoy them.
Nice.
Well, you guys are both obviously animal lovers and actually vegetarians, I've come to understand as well. So where do you get the creatures that you immortalize in your museum? You find them?
Yeah, we get all the mice frozen from a feeder supply for snakes. So they're all frozen feeder mice. And then after we get done with them, we donate them to a bird sanctuary that rehabilitates hawks and owls. And they get their food from the same place that we do anyway. So they just get some free food from us. And then we pick up all the rest from roadkill, perfect little animals on the side of the road, because it's just hard to see these cute little things sitting there and not be immortalized in some way. And then everything was just antiques and, unwanted mounts that people had and donated to Goodwill or whatnot. And we just dress them up and make them flashy.
Right. So Brandon, when you guys
flashy.
dressing them up and making them flashy, what's the reaction of most people when they come into the museum?
I think that they think it's adorable, and usually people are, even if they're apprehensive, it kind of changes their mind a little bit because they're used to seeing a hunter's taxidermy. That's just kind of this bland thing, and when you see these, it makes you forget that it's taxidermy because they almost just look like little models or something. It's like Stuart Little's house, and I think most people are in amazement and are just, I don't know. I love it.
Well, it's incredibly creative. How do you guys come up with the ideas for the scenes, and what are some of your favorites? Because there's just so much detail in these displays.
We just kind of take reference from life. If animals were people, what would they be doing? They'd go to the movies and they would hang out in their cool 90s bedroom, and they would go to the salon, and they just do everything that we do. So we just kind of look at it like animals are just people. And
we have the school, we have a doctor's office, a couple of
restaurants. I saw the one in the library, and I
was going to say I love the library one.
I got a kick out of that. Nice. Yeah. Well, how can viewers find and see more of your creations?
We allow pictures in the museum. So a lot of times people, when they stumble upon us, they don't know what to expect. We try to describe it as best we can for them. And they're usually the ones that are the most impressed because they didn't know what to expect seeing it. And so they want to go on their social media and, they share all of their photos usually. And we do update on our Facebook kind of sometimes, but we do like to give people the surprise.
You can find a lot of sneak peeks online to kind of get people intrigued so that they're a little bit more informed as to what they're going to see.
Okay.
And that's just, for us, it's good advertisement. When people come in, they always want to post it to their social media, and then that just spreads the word as well, because if you come to a place like this, why wouldn't you want to tell everyone?
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate the both of you, Brandon and Julie. Thanks for stopping by. And if we ever get a chance, Danielle, we got to take a trip, right?
Yes. Just not Cheryl's car.
It's beautiful out here in the summertime.
There's lots of reasons to come here.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you so much for having us.
No problem. Definitely sounds like fun, Danielle. And speaking of fun, have you ever heard of Funner, California? If not, stay tuned. Get ready to pack your bags. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, Danielle, Cheryl, we are officially in the summer getaway season. And if you're looking for the funnest summer getaway, you need to get yourself to Funner, California and Harris Resort, SoCal.
Yes, this place has it all. The latest games, a delicious selection of restaurants, super cool bars, and a pool that is absolutely incredible. Check it out.
We have a really laid-back culture, and it's been that way since we opened back in 2004. And we even created a place, Funner, California, which is right where the casino sits. We have a ton of things to do here at Harrah's Resort Southern California. You know, we offer all the table games you could ever imagine to play, from baccarat to roulette to craps to blackjack. So we have a little over 1,500 slot machines right now on the floor and a little over 60 table games. We're part of a network of casinos with Caesars Entertainment that make us kind of a unique place to come and gamble in Southern California. We offer the industry-leading loyalty program through Caesars Rewards. If you play at Harrah's Resort Southern California, you can take that play, earn a level of benefits that you can use at our resorts all over the country. So that's pretty unique in this marketplace. In terms of our pool area, it's second to none. We've been voted one of the top 10 resort pools in America. We've got an adult area, so if you just really want to just kind of hang back and relax in a quiet area, we've got a pool for you. If you want to have a great time with your kids and go up and down the 400-foot lazy river, we've got a pool for you. It makes for a pretty cool pool area. We do have a spa here at Harrah's Resort Southern California. We offer all the treatments you would expect out of a resort spa: pedicures, manicures, facials, all sorts of massages. So it's a great spa. We have fine dining all the way to quick serve. We have Fiore steak and seafood, and we also have an oyster bar, which is pretty cool. We have a very authentic Chinese restaurant, KJ's. In addition, we have quick serve restaurants. We have Earl's Sandwich, we have Smash Burger, and if you're just a coffee maniac, we have the king of coffee, Starbucks. And then if you want to have something a little different, you can go poolside, and we have Rita's Cantina. We updated the menu to have food from like every region in Mexico. The Rincon Reservation Brewery, it's unique in that it's the only Native American brewery in California. They make a great beer. All our rooms are very spacious. We have 1,087 rooms. We have some terrific suites. We even have round pool tables in some of our suites. We have it all in that 1,087 rooms. Probably the best feature we have outside the facility is a 1-mile trail that runs right down the San Luis Rey River, and you can get a sense for a little bit about what the Rincon Reservation is all about. The Event Center is home to Headline Entertainment. It's 23,000 square feet. It seats 2,200 people. It's a great size venue to get up and close to a headline entertainer. So if you want to find your funner, go to harrahsocal.com and book your reservation.
Wow, guys, I think last time we took a look at this, I said I want to be in that lazy river, and I've never been on a flamingo float. That looks so cool. Cheryl, have you been on one?
I have not, but yes, please, bucket list. We are going. And guys, you can find out so much more about what Harrah's Resort SoCal has to offer and book your own getaway at harrahsocal.com.
Well, stick with us, because coming up next, we're going to learn the secret to life from a man who's over 100 years old. You don't want to miss this one.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, everyone. Ladies, the pandemic has taught us all some very important life lessons. And of course, it's definitely been a reminder that life is precious, okay? And we need to treasure every single day. Is that right?
It really is, guys. And our next guest has enjoyed more days than most of us. In fact, he recently celebrated his 104th birthday. Amazing. Here with the secrets for a long and happy life, please welcome to the show, Cliff Peterson. Welcome to Main Street Living. Thank you so much for being here today, and happy birthday. And I know the Easter Seals Senior Day Services threw you a birthday party. Tell us about your party.
They threw such a great party for me. I feel humble about the whole thing.
Well, so you enlisted in the Air Force in 1942 to fight in World War II. What do you want people today to remember about that war and why it was fought?
It was a great generation at that time, and and we were in a difficult situation. We were two fronts, both Japan and Germany. We had to do it at once, and our whole nation was in a difficult position. A generation came to the task, and after 3 or 4 years, we were successful with both fronts.
Wow. Thank you so much for your service. I mean, you have done so much for the nation, for our country, and you've seen a lot of history as well. In fact, you've witnessed 19 presidents over your life. Do you have a favorite U.S. president so far?
Yeah, I have one, in Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, and he was the only president who served 4 terms, and he was a president who started Social Security and Medicare. I was a charter member of Social Security. And of course, today there are millions of us, especially the older people, who are surviving by Social Security. So he was probably one of the greatest presidents in our country.
Well, this next question, I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick a favorite because you were married and you had 4 children. How many grandchildren and great-grandchildren do you have?
I have 5 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild.
Wow.
I can't name them, though. Don't ask me to name them.
Don't worry, we're not going to put you on the spot and make you do this. But one thing I'm curious about is, what is your secret to a long and happy life? You are so blessed.
Activity for upstairs and downstairs. That is mental and physical. You have to practice it both of them all the time.
Oh.
Well, Cliff, speaking of the physical, tell us more about what happened at your birthday party. I understand that perhaps you were doing some dancing.
I didn't dance at this one, but I have danced before with my second wife. We were senior dancers for quite a while.
Oh, very cool.
Really? Do you have a favorite dance?
Of course. I dance with Edna for 2 minutes every time she puts on her dances. That's the foxtrot.
Really? You can do the foxtrot. See, I can't dance.
It's so smoothing and loving and caring. And it's not quick. It's slow and loving. That's why I like it.
Oh.
Edna has to put up with it while I'm with her.
So do you have anything left on your bucket list at this point?
On my bucket list? Yes.
Yeah, what else do you want to accomplish?
I want to do a skydive.
Ooh.
I've been before. I highly recommend.
My relatives are so finicky about this, they won't let me.
What?
I can't imagine why.
You know what? This is your life. If you want to skydive, I say go for it. You know,
That's what I say too, but they say no. You know, I still think I can do it. I don't want to go strapped to somebody else either. I want to go by me. I want to go solo.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, I admire your courage. You've got so much zest for life. You are such an inspiration for so many people. Before we go, do you have any other advice for the rest of us going through life, hoping to make it over 100 years old like you?
I think being honest with everything, but trying to be helpful to the unfortunate as much as you can, and volunteer if you can, if you get to a point where you can volunteer. And I will tell you, there are some fringe benefits of volunteering, and I found that out after I did. You make so many new friends, and the friends you meet in the volunteering work will stay with you for years. I have some friends I made when I started volunteering 15 years ago, and I still have friends. I still have them as good friends. And Edna is one of them. That's where I met her. Was that?
I love that.
Oh my gosh. Such
Well,
a
Cliff,
great story.
you've lived quite a life. I mean, and you just obviously have just a wealth of knowledge, and you've given us so much great wisdom today. So we really appreciate you joining us today. And again, happy birthday.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm humbled.
Thank you. Oh. Oh
Man,
my
that is,
gosh.
I love that.
Oh
I
my
love that.
gosh. I'm holding back
The
tears
secret
right
to a
now.
longer life.
Yeah, it's so amazing. All right.
Well, stick with us, because coming up, we're going to keep your body feeling for a very long time with some simple at-home exercises right here on Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, that last segment, it tugged at my heartstrings. We heard from 104-year-old Cliff Peterson that one secret to a long, happy life is staying active, both upstairs and downstairs. So he's doing a lot of stair climbing. Guys, I believe it. He's amazing.
Yes. And I mean, I love that he also mentioned staying active in your community as well, volunteering, but staying active with your body also very important. So here is Jim White with some tips for creating a simple exercise routine right at your own home. Take a look.
Hi, this is Jim White, exercise physiologist and registered dietitian. The spring is a great time to get in good shape. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends that we exercise 2.5 hours a week. Exercise can do wonders on our body, decreasing the risk of disease, giving us more energy, and making us feel good about ourselves. Try these 5 exercises to get in the best shape you can this spring. The first exercise is the squat. The legs are the biggest muscle in the body. In fact, when you do the squat correctly, you can recruit over 200 muscles. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your feet shoulder width apart. You can put your arms across your chest, and you're going to bend straight down and straight up. Make sure your knees don't go past your front feet. Straight down, straight up, and you always want to breathe. Breathing's really important as you're exercising. Breathing in and breathing out. I recommend doing 15 to 20 of these for 2 sets. Next, we're going to go into our cardiovascular phase, and this is your standard jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are so great because they not only work your heart, but they work all the muscles of your body. So you're going to have your hands down, and we're going to come out to the side. I recommend 30 seconds for beginners to 1 minute for advanced. If you want to make it really advanced, you can squat down and get into squat jacks. You can really feel those legs burning with this exercise. Great. Now it's time to do push-ups. Push-ups are going to work your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Now what you want to do is you want to go on the ground. If you want to have it modified, if it's too hard for you, you can do it off of your knees. But for today's version, we're going to go pivot off your toes. Have your hands shoulder width apart, your back straight. You're going to breathe in on the way down and out on the way up. I recommend doing 15 to 20 of these for 2 sets. Next, again, since the legs are the biggest muscle in the body, we're going to do our lunges. Now the lunges are unique because they work the glutes and the quadriceps. You can have your hands on your hips, come sideways, and you're gonna step out with the right leg and push back through the heels. Step out with your left leg, push back through the heels. You wanna continuously breathe. And what this is going to do, it's gonna give you a good burn while working your heart rate. I recommend doing 15 to 20 of these for 2 sets. And then finally, we're gonna work our core. The core is so important, especially as we age. It's gonna really protect those back muscles. So I'm gonna recommend to do the planks. Now, if you have a nice soft floor, you can do them on your elbows. For today, we're gonna do them off our hands. Feet shoulder width apart, arms locked, your back flat, and you would just hold this. My recommendation is do as long as you can the first time, and then try to beat that score each time. What you don't want to do is sway your back. You want to keep your back flat. And remember, always breathe. By following these 5 exercise tips, you're going to be in great shape this spring. For more fitness and nutrition tips, go to my website, jimwhitefit.com.
Well, guys, those are definitely good tips there. Although you're not going to be seeing me doing jumping jacks and squats at the same time. Nope. No, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm looking at his push-up position. My push-up game is definitely suspect. I got a hump. I got a hump in my back. No, it doesn't look good.
Okay, we're gonna have to train you guys up. We're gonna do a Main Street Living push-up contest soon. But you can find more tips for staying healthy and fit at jimwhitefit.com.
That's right. We got more to come here on Main Street Living. In fact, during the break, find those old knee and elbow pads because you're about to kick and push your way to making your own skateboard. Up next.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, I don't know about you guys, but there's just a lot of pride I take when I do something myself, right? Quincy, I know we've seen you do some DIY on this show. There's just lots of things that are really better when you make them yourself. Remember all the people who were learning to make sourdough last year? Are they still making sourdough?
Right. Well, the cool thing is, some things seem too complicated to DIY, let's say like a skateboard, right? But
yeah.
Not true, because open source boards out of San Diego will have you skating away on your own creation in no time. You guys check this out.
This one has the longest kick-to-kick distance. We didn't grow up, at least my generation, building things with our hands. And I think it's really important to be able to have the confidence to pursue a project and try to design and build something. The class today is simply about coming into a workspace and building a skateboard. I got started teaching this class to help encourage more people to be creative and have more confidence in creating things.
I've been able to watch how Bo builds boards in the past, and so it was really cool to actually be on the other side of it and be part of the making process.
I've been skateboarding for almost 20 years, and I've been building boards for about 5 years. So having that combined experience allows me to kind of come at it from both angles of this is how to make a board and make a good quality product, but this is also how it's gonna work. Translate those lines.
I really wanted a specific wheelbase. That's basically the distance between wheel to wheel. Bo had to show me exactly how to mark out the distances between where the wheels were going to be.
So when we're making the measurements and drawing the lines, it's really important to be precise because that is what you're going to build too.
There were a bunch of different templates for different size boards, different shapes. So I chose a template that I thought matched the size I wanted, and it was really cool.
You have boards that are fatter, some that are skinnier. Depending on what kind of footing you have really determines what kind of board selection that you will choose.
So the first thing is going to be punching the holes.
I haven't used 90% of the tools we used.
There is definitely a level of intimidation when using these tools. They are dangerous tools and they do need to be respected.
He's really good about being patient and making sure that you feel comfortable and you know what's going on.
I like to first drill a pilot hole. We're gonna use tape once we drill those to cover the back side of the holes, and then go through with the bigger drill bit.
The jigsaw was a little interesting. I didn't even know how to set the board, so it was hanging off the edge of the table. But Bo's really good about answering questions and making sure that you know what you're doing prior to you using the equipment.
When you cut it out with a saw for the first time, okay, we're getting somewhere now.
You're curving it in one direction, but it gives you such control when you're trying to cut around the shape that you want. When you're using the sanding belt to shape it out, I think that's just one of the coolest things to just see something go from so raggedy to just the smoothest thing that you'll ever see. And so finishing that off, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. Growing up, when you bought skateboard, you just selected the artwork that was on it, but understanding the different shapes and actually how to pick a board, it gives you a different perspective about skateboards. It's not just a board with wheels on it. There's actual physics and science to it that these makers are teaching us. I think that's one of the coolest things about it.
Wow, ladies, I have to tell y'all, I had a wide skateboard when I was a kid. This was back in the 80s. Because those little skinny skateboards, my feet were too horrible. I kept falling off,
Well, I didn't have any skateboard at all. So you're doing better than me. And Danielle, probably you as well?
Yeah, I fell off my share of skateboards before I switched to rollerblading.
Right. Well, if you like skateboards, you can find out more information about how to create your own skateboard at opensourceboards.com. Coming up, we've got more Main Street Living, so stick around.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Before we let you guys go, we wanted to give you a couple more reminders.
That's right. Like you can catch this show and so many others on our Cox Contour app.
We are everywhere. We're also on your TV. We have brand new episodes of Main Street Living every Monday at 9 p.m. local time. So you guys got to make sure you join us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.